It is your boy T from Have You Seen That with T with another movie review, and today we are reviewing Scream 6. So this is the sixth installment in the Scream franchise, and boy oh boy, they have really rebounded tremendously after Scream 3, which is to me was the worst movie in the entire franchise. And here we are, Scream 6. After the events of Scream 5, we have the two protagonists, Tara and Sam Carpenter. They survived another Woodsboro massacre, which, I mean, I don't even understand how anybody would still stay in that town. But they survived that massacre and they found their way to New York City. And guess who else found their way into New York City? Ghostface. So this movie starts off with a bang. It starts off with like this amazing, Scream kill scene to start the movie, which is just, I was impressed. I was extremely impressed with what they did with the beginning of this movie, how they went into it and how it just rolled from there. It just started off just complete action. And I was in awe on how quickly it all just came together. We had 4 members from the last movie who survived. They were all in New York City for some reason. I don't understand why anyone would follow another person who survived that massacre. I guess staying together, that the best thing that they could think to do. I think that's a terrible idea, but once again, that's just me. But here we are, New York City, Ghostface shows up and he starts killing. And I will say this, I guessed the killer/killers in this movie almost from the beginning because you could just tell. Like you see new characters and they look and smell the part. And of course, we've kind of gone away from Scream being about who the killer is. Like I get it, it is a whodunit, but I've grown past the part of being upset when the killer is this underwhelming character, because you're never going to beat Stu Macher and Billy Loomis from the first Scream. Like that was the pinnacle of, just that whodunit. And it really started this whole genre, even though, it didn't start it. It started with, Jason Voorhees' mom in the original Friday the 13th. But what they did with this movie, I knew that they were going to do it differently than they've done in every other movie, because you just have to. It's part 6, it's not part 2, it's not the third. It is the 6th, entry in this franchise, and they had to do something different, and they did. They went almost a different route, but of course, somebody had to be Ghostface, somebody had to be the killer or killers. It did not disappoint at all. This movie was just fantastic from start to finish. The end was just fantastic. Hayden Panettiere came back. She starred in the worst one in Scream 3. Oh no, she was in Scream 4. Yeah, she was in Scream 4. But she came back in a small role in this movie, which was fantastic. Kind of callbacks. And of course, you had Courtney Cox. Suspicious by her absence was Sidney Prescott. For some reason, I'm not even going to lie, going into this movie, I thought she would pop up in the end and be the killer. Like that would have just thrown me completely off. But something told me they were going to do something, extreme like that. They did not. That is not a spoiler. Sidney Prescott was not in the movie at all, so that's a plus. So I did not spoil it for anybody. But I will say there is a post-credit scene at the end of this movie. So if you decide to stay till after the credits, there is a post-credit scene for all of those eagle-eyed people who love the MCU and their post-credit scenes. There is a post-credit scene in Scream 6. Don't say I didn't warn you. But at the end of the day, this was a fantastic movie. It was better than 5, and I will be ranking my, Scream movies from 1 to 6 on the Have You Seen That with T podcast. Definitely listen to it. And just, definitely check this out this weekend. If you love slashers, which I do, this is definitely one that you will enjoy. I guarantee you will enjoy this movie. If you enjoyed the last Scream, you're definitely going to love this movie. And Sam and Tara, I think that they breathe a really great breath of fresh air into this franchise. Sidney Prescott, she's gotten a little long in the tooth. Gail Oh my God, Gail Weathers looked weathered in this movie. I mean, she's older, and I really miss Dewey. I'm not gonna lie, I miss Dewey. If you haven't seen Scream 5, no spoilers there, but Dewey was not in this movie either. But everyone else who was in this movie, they were fantastic. It was a great, like, the killers at the end, it was kind of mad, but the kills in this movie were just so very visceral. That's what they brought back into this franchise, with just the kills, like this, just this human being just massacring other people, which I thought was cool. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not doing anything that they did in Saw or anything like that. They just went in and they just killed people in very brutal fashion with a knife in most cases. And if you saw the commercial, you saw the shotgun, and that was very brutal. But definitely go check out Scream 6. You'll definitely enjoy it, and I'll catch you next time.